came out openly and announced to us Biafrans that we should ensure that we go back into farming. You can now you can connect the dots. You can connect the dots because there is hunger in the land, and as we speak, I know they are still making up. They are still making plans because the well-being of Biafrans they have shown still their top priority. In restoring Biafra, they are not just wanting to restore Biafra, but you can see that as they are restoring Biafra, they are carrying Biafrans along and ensuring that the well-being of Biafrans are being put in line, in check. That is why they came out and say, we do not want a repeat of what happened in 1967 to 70 to happen in an event or in the event that, it happened. If we have to get our freedom, by force, let us prepare our grounds. And I think that is what this fourth question is also the direction this fourth question is also pointing at. So please, let Biafrans that are listening, let us increase our food production. I know that the Fulani herdsmen have tried so much to, send our people away from the farms by raping and, pillaging and killing and all what have you, using their animals to come and eat up your crops. All these were calculated efforts to ensure that there is nobody in farm, to ensure that there will be less food for the people to eat, and by so doing, by the time they blow the whistle to say now attack, and let's assume it becomes a fight, we will not be able to stand because there's no food to eat, talk less of having strength to fight. So all these are all calculated. What we can do as Biafrans, what we can do as coastal regional Biafrans, interland, is to adhere to the instructions that are coming from IPOB leadership, the DOS, Directorate of State. Now, the DSN are doing marvelously well. And those of us from the coastal region, we must take it upon ourselves, especially my people from Igodo. We must play our role by supporting ESN, by ensuring, because our leader told us that ESN, their duty is to protect our farmlands across the whole of Biafra land, not just the hinterland alone, even in the coastal region, which means that if we are from the Igodo, if we from the Efik or Ibibio nation, if we from the Isoko nation organize ourselves enough, we ensure that we are in tune with the leadership, support ESN, our territories, our farmlands will also be protected by the ESN. If you are in Igodo, you are in Edo today or any part of the Biafra land, and you call using the inquiry lines, you reach out to the leadership to say or report that this is what the Fulani herdsmen, this is where they are in our location, and these are the destruction they are doing. You are able to give concrete evidence. You will see that the leadership will do the needful, and in no distance time, those marauders will be sacked out of our land. But it is important that we support those people who are doing the work. It is very important. In rounding up, if you don't know some more, a minimum tabedene now away, or keke ni marie iyobo ni IPOB, ni mari iyobo ni DOS, ni mari iyobo ni Eastern Security Network ESN. Vaya the Yobonia Wenodame Omena, Wenodame IPOB Community Radio, Wenodame Radio Biafra, Kamema we Ibamagua, where are the Yegua, Kamia we gave no sunu, Ote Nigeria, a Oto no my ma, Run that way, a Bibi Mama Tota. Ni akawe iya oni ya Nigeria ikpotoki ore bege no pe iya ge emi ni mame iya bege we osaloba gele kakabo we might say if ikpotoki na di ge na wo ma bi ma ya eti emi ni aname ofi gbonto emi no bun so ba ya we say bi ma ya eti ame odakanya ade mi na na mwe obi woke okeke ni ma kuya na yakugbe ni ma vie Biafra ivi godo ivi gaba ivi Hausa ivi Oduduwa ni ma kuya yakugbe ma ikuya yakugbe iye ki ame uropa rudawe emugu ganyahin obi edo akawe obi Hausa we awo obi gbo akawe ge ahia obi Yoruba we awo meme mwegbe ni aya ahia onu inosunu da oti Nigeria me we me ruopa ebi ni maawu ni afi weri ana aro na ana mi ewe ibi ma bede na hwe agbia masagbon ni mayebede na o ewe Nigeria na agae manani ro ikini makeri Biafra mahin and ewe Biafra ma agbina yi na miewe Biafra na aro wa hwe my thing total mami ewe ma beni ma o no ye ba na miewe na hwe be no yibe hotel we bu abiomo we de na adebe oni ahewoge omuna enie ore system arioba omege no se omoni anwa se certain stage arioba igo no money so that or say 18 years or 18 swagbon later years school later when we now agbon o ma na me urupa aro ode aro o ma no no ugbo o ti ugbo ore amiewe mado ye emila to yari evioko we ra adore piwe gbogbo o agberi ma wa gbe ma wa gbogbo emi na ya abe mi dana ya no sunu na ni manare Nigeria o se na sunu wala o ibi edonu zomo ibi Biafra wa gi ma ko boku gbe wa ri obo ba IPOB wa ri obo ba DOS ni wa support Nnamdi Kanu na miewe edenahwe Biafra mado ame Biafra ama ame Biafra agbon do amanima okeke walao wa Yoruba owima ni wa demand free Nnamdi Kanu no make na la dia bu gbele ga no ye Nnamdi Kanu o ma duziga o mara o mari okwere amari igo maropa emi no yaro egbele gan ewe oka ewe agbon ni Biafra raw na it can be better than this ma eti ugbera bin mauna wagi maame Biafra wagi port yaro tedu wagi seaport wagi ari Calabar in the Nnamdi Kanu ka enihi oma mosisi unu kekan ya gwan we egeni kutokina de Calabar oti Calabar ya lare eze no kwa river na lare ba na emiewe edene na a port teze ni be Calabar na ana miewe mani bi do na rewe bu di mana o ni ma mu emi ko ewebo ade wa be na taye ma o ni ma vi motore o ma o ni ma vie emi business ire is na aya mewe ma vio ele kore o se ni ma ihe na eti ya mu ele Calabar o mu ele ewori no sikema even gelegele se gelegele a ke gelegele seaport o eto sikema be bani o wani hi anamu ma ebibi ma nere webo na vie miri all day very easy ni ma ya vie mi ma ra na ya le hotel Eko doluwe ya do vie mi ma re o gangbe o ma no ke webo de no ya ka tori be bati imoto that's a aeroplane no ya le aeroplane do tori be ko won se ni international airport ke na redo no ana wa ke we bodo to revedo o nu de Anambra oye o Imo oye nu wa keke nu ye nu to reve ebonu kere wo na ye beri o bana mi ewe so ki maya leko emi ni ma no eni so wala ebe edunu zomo wa de obo ba IPOB ni wa de obo ba Nnamdi Kanu yeke na mi ewe abere na Osunuwe Agbima, Agboma Emonimabie, Wala, was supported ESN, la IPOB.org, on a website or IPOB, Ugalao, Urami Benuaya, Riyubo, is support ne ESN, ne IPOB, Wawesi. Thank you very much for this opportunity given Mazi JCI, our host Mazi Alozi, and of course, the leadership that are very, very vibrant. Thank you for this opportunity. And God, he said. I stand by for myself.
God bless you. God bless you. Just in case, I'm putting you notice. I'm right in a good. Get me somebody for good. I don't know what I just mentioned now. I'm getting more inspiration on it. Since I just mentioned this thing now, I'm getting our ancestors, the creator, has given me more insight on how to go about it now. And we're going to kick off, we're going to start it in full force. So start teaching our language. We're going to start that without delay. Iderauko will teach Efik. I can't even teach Igbo. So that I don't deceive, I hate deceiving people, but I'll organize. So I'll get people, we're going to start teaching all this. Please, I'm repeating it again. If you know anybody that is very fluent in these languages, or a tutor, a teacher, a linguist, in Igbo, in Efik, in Izon, in Orobo, in Igodomegodo, in Igala, in Agatu, in Igede, in Ishekiri, let me know. Or better still, I want to put it as a question to you as a team. You guys should respond to me after now. Tell me, do we start learning our languages, or should all of us go and learn in CBD? I need somebody, I need you guys, please inbox me. Should we start learning in CBD? So let me know if I'm going to look for a tutor in a CBD to start teaching us. We can give it 1 or 2 hours every week. So I want you guys to look at it and I'll respond so that I will know what I will ask the leadership for permission on official level. There was so Mazi Ochukome, unmute yourself. On the 4th topic on how does food production and distribution can it be weaponized against the people? I brought it preliminarily. I didn't want to go deep into it because the head of Directorate of State is coming on air tomorrow to speak on that. He's going to say things about this agricultural revolution. That's why I didn't want us to delve into it so that we don't start speaking things that he's going to talk about. So when he's done tomorrow, in the next edition, we'll go deep into this agricultural revolution, what it's all about, how are we going to go about it, how can we stop the enemy weaponizing food against us. These are things that will form the fulcrum of what we're going to discuss in the next edition. So, Mazi Chuko, can you air your views? And Mazi Voke, hold on, there are 2 topics you didn't handle that I want you to reiterate if time permits. So, Ochiko, get behind the microphone. There.
Okay, Mazi JCI, thank you very much. Hope I'm coming out clear, Mazi. Hello, Mazi, am I coming out, please?
Clear. Mazi, you're coming out loud and clear. Mazi Ochukwu.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from my location, great Biafrans, lovers of freedom, all over the world, wherever you are listening to us from today, the 8th day of March 2024. My name remains Ogene Ochukume Ogene Ovie is an Urubu Biafran from Agbon province of Biafra land. Agbon province is in Ethiopia's local government area of Delta State. And by all intent and purposes, I declare every day that Yoruba people are proud Biafran people. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Hamadike is our leader. I thank you very much, Mazi JCI, for having us today again. My thanks also go to our host, our veteran, our great man, Mazi Alozie. It's always a pleasure to share the same space with you. Thank you very much. So, quickly, let me delve into our area of concentration today, Mazi. For some time now, I've been struggling with my network because of where I always found myself on our broadcast days. But I'm happy today. I have a relatively stable network, and I hope it will not take me off again along the line. But let me continue. Mazi, thank you very much. Our first topic we are discussing today says, what does the statement by Wole Soyinka on Dabla, the zoo should break if necessary, as a Reverend Biafra, what does it mean to me? Mazi, this very topic is a very interesting one, and I love the perspective that our sister Idara brought to it, and also I think Mazi Uyi also threw more light to it. But this is what I have to say. Yes, we understand how the Nigerian media, they have this knack for sensationalism. They always want to, twist stories to achieve certain, to achieve traffic and all of those. But that notwithstanding, Mazi, we also know that one thing that the Nigerian state is good at doing, is using supposedly intellectuals, people that the ordinary masses look up to as intellectuals, as the intelligentsia, if you like, as people of high intellectual means. When you hear Professor Soyinka, for example, you want to listen. When you hear Professor Usman, Dr. This, the Nigerian state has this habit of using these people to actually do what we call kite flying. Now, I remember very well, sometime earlier last year, Mazi, in one of our programs, I think I also made submission on our Tuesday Media Warrior programs, where I submitted that in the quest for the Fulanization by these people in the jihad that is going on by the Fulanis in the zoo, that they have 4 wings to what they are doing, or if you like, call it 4 elements. And I submitted that those 4 elements, you have the political class, you have the armed combatants, which are the ISWAP, Boko Haram, the armed headsmen, and then you also have the ordinary masses, that is the ones that are the Shoshinas, the Aboki, those ones that have been sent like an advanced party to go and just populate the land and take positions. And then you have the 4th wing, which is, I refer to them as the intellectual wing of the Fulanis. That is the 4 elements of what they are doing. And interestingly, the 4th element, which is the intellectual wing, they've managed to actually get even Southerners, even Christian Southerners, to actually be co-opted into that 4th wing. And that 4th wing is what the people that our leader rightly described as intellectuals. That is where they also belong to. And who are these people? They are the likes of Professor Wole Soyinka, the likes of what they call them, the Biafran intellectuals that are all over the place, speaking big grammar. And then you have in the north, you have them, the Shehu Madis of this world, the Osman, that they will come out. And what is their job? Just like this statement accredited to Wole Soyinka, whether it was twisted or not. But we know that this is actually how they work. And it is actually not limited to just Professor Wole Soyinka alone, Mazi. In the past couple of days and weeks, for example, we have had so many statements credited to very high-ranking figures in the north, even to some traditional rulers like emirs and what do you call them? Yes, even the Sultan also was quoted to have said Nigeria is sitting on a keg of gunpowder. All of these things, what are they trying to do? And I make bold to declare here, there is no such thing as sitting on a keg of gunpowder, and that is why when they come on media, on social media to report those kind of stories, I don't even spend a minute listening to them, because I know they are simply playing the script of the caliphate. And what is the script? Their own is to come out and speak very fine English and sound the alarm bells. What is the plan? They know that nothing scares the average zoologian, that is the one still proud to call himself a Nigerian. Nothing scares them as much as hearing about conflict, hearing about the possibility of violent, maybe like a civil war-like situation breaking out. Nothing scares them about the prospect of saying there's going to be another, military confrontation between different parties. So the caliphate, the Nigerian state, they understand that for them to continue to keep the people distracted from the actual message of IPOB and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which is a peaceful democratic process of referendum to bring an end to this unworkable union, they would rather send their intelligent, the so-called intellectuals to go out and after blowing big grammar, they will sound the alarm. They will make statements like Nigeria is sitting on a keg of gunpowder, and if we're not careful, Nigeria will disintegrate. But inwardly, in their hearts, they know what they are saying is just gibberish, because guess what? Their postulations of just sounding that alarm of Nigeria disintegrating, they know inwardly that Nigeria is not going to disintegrate unless we, the people, cause that disintegration to happen. And they are not doing anything. They know perfectly well that the people, apart from us Biafrans, the people, they are not doing anything to bring about that disintegration. So the people like Wole Soyinka, they are very much aware that Nigeria is not going to break by itself. It's not going to break before they come out, because they come out on social media and they make noise and make all kinds of bogus, alarms that there's going to be disintegration to break up. They know it's not going to happen. But what they are simply doing is they are simply raising the alarm and scaring the poor masses of Nigeria, who are dead scared at the prospect of another civil war, for example, or at the prospect of any kind of confrontation taking place. So by doing that, they distract the people from actually focusing, or from even giving a real determined thought to the message of IPOB, which is a non-violent disintegration of the zoo, which is achievable by all intents and purposes, by all accounts, by all evidence that exists in the world. A non-violent disintegration of Nigeria is achievable, and of course it must be achieved as championed by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB. But the likes of Wole Soyinka and his gang, they are simply flying kites to distract people from actually considering this option, which has been on the table for years now. So Mazi, there's no substance to it. Wole Soyinka, whether he actually said it or it was twisted, not the way he said it, but we know that they are good at doing this thing, and we make it very clear to the world that Wole Soyinka and his likes, they don't deceive Biafrans. They can only deceive the gullible Almajiris and maybe their own uninformed people in their own locality, but certainly not Biafra. So Mazi, I am not moved an inch by whatever that man calls himself. Let me move quickly to the next topic, Mazi. In view of the above postulation by what are the benefits accruable to the Oduduwa people in the event of the zoo disintegration, which is imminent and fast approaching? Of course, Mazi, one thing, if there is one thing that the continued existence of the zoo actually portends for us as a people. When I say us, I mean the whole four of us. And when I say four of us, because let me just try to also chip in this. We have been programmed from birth to actually see Nigeria as being made up of three people. What do I mean by three people? We grew up hearing North, West, and East. But no, Mazi, we're actually four people. And if you look at Nigeria, we have the Biafran people, not in terms of region, because region and state creation, all those ones are actually carried out by the colonial, terrorists and their zoo agents. But if you look at what actually they did here was to force these four different people. And who are these people? You have the Oduduwa people. You have the Hausa people to the north, or what they also call the Arewa North, the Arewa, which are the Hausa people, and then we have the Kwadarafa people in the Middle Belt, and then of course you have the great Biafran people. So these are the four people, and for each of these four people, I know the question is about the Oduduwa people. What benefits does it bring to them? But let me say this. If we have any of our Oduduwa brothers listening to us today, and all persons in the zoo that are trapped, the disintegration of the zoo will be the beginning of a very dramatic renaissance, a very dramatic turnaround. In fact, for me, I give each of these four people, each of these four potential great nations, just under a decade, and the level of industrialization, economic transformation that will take place across these four nations, Mazi, it will marvel the world. And I'm sure the rest of the world, the Europeans, they actually understand this, and hence they are fighting tooth and nail to make sure that it doesn't happen. For example, these four persons, the Oduduwas that specifically was referenced in the question, in the framework of the question, Mazi, these are people with huge human resource capital, also with a lot of natural mineral resources and all kinds of very fertile arable land to boot. So, and then of course their marine economy. So they have everything to benefit from a balkanized zoo, which they call Nigeria. Our Duduwa brothers and sisters.
Do you know that it beats my imagination how the generation of not the real Yorubas, because I need people to understand that the people mismanaging the zoo are not the real Yorubas. Don't insult the Yoruba people. Yoruba people are very intelligent people. Yoruba people, a lot of Yoruba people who know their left and right. I'm not those that grab power, because the people that have occupied the arms of government, even in the Yoruba now, are not the real Yorubas. The real Yoruba people who are conscientious, who know what is right, who know how to do things, are not afraid. These people that are in charge of power now are exhibiting some people just like collect salary. They don't want to engage in any serious, any mental stuff. They don't want to do business. They are comfortable with salary lifestyle. Because why should a Yoruba man be afraid of freedom? Why should all the resources in Yoruba territory, all the length and breadth of Yoruba Oduduwa nation, of Yoruba land, is filled with mineral resources. So why should we be afraid? Because they are taking oil from another region, enslaving the people there. They are comfortable. Let's continue. Britain keeps stealing. America still. Chevron still. Our stars. Yorubas are working there. Yorubas work in MTN. Yorubas work in WhatsApp. Yorubas work in all the multinational. So is that a good reason why Yoruba nation should remain in bondage? Because Yoruba people work in bondage. Do you know that most of the international organizations in the zoo is Yorubas that they take? Yoruba also, you people want to continue collecting salary all your life and remain slaves and out of Fulanese? It is your imagination. Continue.
Okay, Mazi, thank you very much. Mazi. Yeah, you actually beat me to it. So what am I trying to say, great Biafrans and all listeners to this wonderful program today? You see what my leader, Mazi JCI, just pointed out now. So the continued existence of the zoo called Nigeria actually puts not just a mental barrier to our reasoning, because what you find happening is we are more like rats that have been caged within the confine of a union that is actually inimical to our own well-being and progress.
Ochiko, you're not coming out. Ochiko, you're not coming out again.
Hello,
Yes, continue.
Okay, thank you, Mazi. So I was saying that the continued existence of the zoo has actually put both a mental shackle and a physical shackle on us. Just like you said, for example, if you come to the coast, for example, in Biafra land, you will find out that virtually all the oil companies, both the multinationals and the indigenous oil companies, for example, you find out that the average person in Yoruba land has his eyes, as he's going through his academic program, he has his eyes firmly fixed on the coast, on the oil companies there, thereby abandoning the prospect for real development back home in the West, thereby robbing themselves of that opportunity to actually explore both the natural resources as well as all the Hello, Mazi. I'm hearing another thing.
Continue.
Okay, Mazi, thank you. So I was saying that they are forced to abandon the immense tourism potentials that they have, the immense potential for agric revolution in the West, and the marine economy that they have a huge potential for, they are forced to look at the coast for quick oil money. And this, I tell them today, and I tell the whole world, is a big barrier. And what I just said about the Duduwa brothers now applies to the two different regions as well, like the far north, the Hausa land. And by the way, when I talk about the Hausa land, I'm not talking about the Fulanis, because we all know that the Fulanis, they have no place in this land. They are strangers, and just like as our leader said, they will go away. But the Hausa people, they are a great people, and they have the abundance of resources as well. And with their Atlantean, potential, and as well with abundant solid minerals, they will do extremely well. And I give everybody the middle belt. Of course, they have the land that can actually feed the whole of West Africa. They have the potentials, they have the know-how. All that they will require will just be one or two, leadership guidance that will unleash the potential for what they need to do. And of course, Biafrans, we know we are up there, and we know we can. Let me quickly move on. Mazi, am I there? Let me go on to the third topic. Mazi, can I continue, Mazi? I'm hearing a noise.
Continue.
Okay, so our third topic says the continued detention of our leader, as against the media publications quoting Tinubu, has said that he would have released like Sunday Igboho, except for Imo elections and blah 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 blah. Mazi, please, I have always maintained this. In truth, I, as a Biafran, Mazi, I had never for once thought, not even for 1 second, I had never for once thought or expected that the moment they brought our leader to, by extraordinary rendition, by the moment they kidnapped him and brought him to the zoo, I had never for 1 minute, 1 second, thought or expected that our leader was going to come out from their grip, from that dungeon, through any act of magnanimity or any act of benevolence from the Nigerian state. In fact, if that happens, I will be greatly disappointed, Mazi. That is a fact. And then there is also this tendency for so many people to actually, want to draw a comparison between our leaders' continued detention, and then try to draw like a parallel that Sunday Igboho was released. In fact, to actually make it even more heartbreaking for me, I had someone making a statement, I think that was yesterday, that said what was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's offense that was different from Sunday Igboho's offense, and that really hurts me, Mazi. I will not lie to you. To be honest with you, the one thing I really hate most is to be mentioning the names of people like Sunday Igboho and Omoyele Sowore at the same time you are mentioning the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It actually hurts me personally, on a very personal level. And the reason is simple. We have to make it our duty to let the whole world know that there is no basis for comparison between Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and any. Hello, Mazi.
Oh, you're getting wrong on that. There's nothing wrong with that. Excuse me, an agitator is an agitator. Even if he's agitating for freedom for his village, he can be compared to any agitator anywhere in the world. There's nothing wrong with that. That is why, in retrospect, you see, I used to make reference to Adakaboro. Adakaboro was fighting for freedom for his people, even though he fought for only Ijo enclave. I make reference to Kesarawiwa. He fought for freedom for Ugoni people. So these people, you can't forget them in a hurry. Onwazurike fought for freedom for Biafrans. So all of them are agitators. No white man is whiter than the other. So please don't make that in contradistinction. Anybody can make reference to anybody else by saying, oh, this man, if I'm fighting for my people, I'm fighting for people. Somebody can fight for 1 billion people. Somebody can fight for 10 people. We're all fighters. What are we fighting for? You judge the motive. What was it, for selfish reason, or was it for the same altruistic values that led people like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to fight for their people? So in that context, please, it's allowed. They can't be compared. Igboho fought for Yoruba nation. whether you like him or not, whether he succeeded or failed, at a point in history, isolated and quote that he asked for justice for his people and he requested for freedom of the nation. So if you equate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to him as a freedom fighter, there's nothing wrong with that. We're not talking about classification. What level do they belong? That's what we'll talk about that. But if you're talking about people fought for their people, please, it's given. It's okay. It's allowed. He fought for his people. Even till most recently, he made a video last week Friday. He said, stop playing politics. Release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He is not as vocal as you and I. I'm not blaming, I'm not condemning him. Everybody cannot be vocal. So he might not speak as much as we do. And you can't say he's an illiterate. An illiterate is somebody who cannot communicate. He can speak well in Yoruba. So he's educated in Yoruba language. A Frenchman cannot speak Yoruba. An English professor can't speak Igbo. So anybody that can express himself in his own language is not an illiterate. So he said, and I quote, stop playing politics. Release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He's asking for freedom for his people the same way I'm asking for freedom for Ududua people. So there's nothing wrong with that, Mazi. Sorry, I respect your personal opinion, but there's nothing wrong with that. Continue. God bless you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mazi. You see, of course, you know your leadership is well carried, Mazi. Thank you very much for the observation. But you see, Mazi, what you actually just hit the nail on the head in your brief interjection. Now, you actually just said something I have in my mind, which is about the intent. The intent. For example, me, okay. Even when Sunday Igboho first came out in 2022 or thereabout, you know, when the killings in Oyo State, Igangan was very rampant, and then Sunday Igboho came out, and then the collaboration between Sunday Igboho and Professor Akintoye, you know, and the Yoruba Nation Now movement that time. Initially, I was actually sold out. I was carried on.
You know, there was a time we collaborated with them.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Personally, then I was part of that collaboration. There's a time we had a physical outing in Ibadan. Biafra and nation agitators. Why they combine stuff in Ibadan? Yes, physically. So if Onyedo doesn't believe in what he was doing, would you have done that? Whether he succeeded, whether he stayed to the end, is to discuss for another day. The same way Adakaboro started, he went a later go and joined the enemy. Adakaboro joined Nigerian army. He's going back to join the enemy he was fighting. But because he was ill-advised, because what I see in his case is that he was not matured for the journey him back on, and it consumed him. The same way Ken Saro-Wiwa went to join hand with Abacha. He was dining with Abacha, played table tennis with them. He took Igbo party, was leading large. Shell will provide small change for them, give them small comforts, give them narratives to talk against their people, fight their brothers, and they toyed that part, and the same people toying around to kill them. That they failed does not mean they have not tried. Tomorrow, I've said it before, you can't call Wanzurike a failure. He's not a failure. He never failed. The battle consumed him at a point. If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stopped today, God forbid, and I know he will never. By the way he's wired, he can never give up. But God forbid, if for any reason now Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today say, look, I'm tired, you guys continue, will you call him a failure? No, he's not a failure. And I know he won't do that. He will never do that. We know him. But even if he stops today, he's not a failure. He has never failed. So we judge people by the content of their character. If the person wakes up and betrays the struggle, that's why you say he has failed. And as long as the person hasn't, there are people that are overwhelmed by their personal weaknesses. There are people that are overwhelmed by the advice from their families. There are people that are overwhelmed by what their wife told them. There are people that fought in there are people who started this thing with us now. There are no more. I know someone that was used to be a district coordinator. He called us and said, I'm not doing again. What happened? He said he cannot talk. So I tried to reach out to him on a personal note. I discovered his problem was that he had a trait from his wife, leave the agitation or I pack my load. So he preferred his marriage and he left the agitation. Thank God for the kind of wife somebody like me have. If my wife tell me to choose between agitation and marriage, there will be a problem somewhere. Very serious problem. But thank God, when God want to give you a wife, He will give you people like you. You marry people that think and behave like you. That's why you see Mazen, I'm the kind of wife now. He's still going. No matter what happens to her, she reasons she behaves like her husband. So Mazen, we must acknowledge these people. Even if their energy couldn't carry them to the last minute, we must appreciate the time they tried. Because now, why do I say so? Whatsoever exploit Mazen Namdekano has achieved today is not just because he's strong. He has learned from the other people. When we go to the market and buy books, you buy book, somebody's experience in 60 years, somebody's experience in 80 years, you formate it into one book, you read the book, you have carried the experience of 80 years along with you, it's going to influence you. Tomorrow you begin to do exploit. You don't know it's because you have learned from the exploit of those before you. Martin Namdekane has learned something from Ujuku, in case you're not aware. Martin Namdekane has learned from Onwazuike, yes. In case you're not aware, he has learned from Madakaburu. He has learned where the likes of Madakaburu, what's the name of the Ogoni man? The Ogoni writer. He has learned from all of them put together. What you see in Mazen Namdekano today is the sum, is the aggregate of other people's experience. Except you're not an intelligent person. We in the intelligentsia, in the academic world, you discover that we expect you to do more. Going by what you have read, going by what you're exposed to. For instance, the people in the days of Moses, they read 5 books. The level of righteousness expected of them is not the same as people who read 66 books, who read New Testament, who read epistles, who read the Acts of Jesus. So to you that is a new a modern or contemporary preacher or born again or Christian, more will be expected of you. Because why? You've been exposed to more knowledge, you've been exposed to more experience of other people in the past. Someone like you now, we're listening to Mazaloze. Mazaloze is a veteran. Mazaloze was around during the war. He was not told about the war. I was born after the war. He was around during the war. He has a different perspective about life than you and I. He experienced it firsthand. Probably today now you eat 3 times a day. Maybe in the days of Mazanoze, they might eat once in 48 hours or once in 72 hours. It was a harsh condition. There's something they lacked. There's something they picked from that approach that money cannot buy. Certain experiences can be picked from anywhere. We have 2 ways of acquiring knowledge. We have the postural knowledge and a prior knowledge. And the best form of knowledge is what? The knowledge acquired through experience. So these things, you can't take them away. So that is why when we eulogize people like Mazen Namdekano, we still go back and make mention of names of people who have started before him. Yes. The Adakaboro started before him. There was a spirit in Adakaboro that made him do what he did. That's the kind of spirit we have in Mazen Namdekano. Okay, today, the one in Mazen Namdekano is pro-mass. It's another level of it. It's the same spirit that was in Ken Saruwiwa. Have you read the Ogoni Bill of Rights? Have you taken time to go and read some of the things that Saruwiwa read? Today we only look at where people fell. We don't bother to look at where they tried, where they made impact. Pretty much of the people you talk about today that they didn't do well in any field might even be the ones who discovered the principle that the people doing well are using. I tell you honestly, as an expert, there are many things we do today. Now you can wake up now and begin to praise me. You may not know that whatever you think I know today might be what I've learned from Mazen Namdekano, who today cannot speak again because he's incapacitated where he is. What I know today might be what I've learned from the men of the DOS. There are a lot of wise men there that we listen to, we watch how they do things. There are people there who are our role model. You see someone like Mazi Chikedozen, he doesn't talk much. If you are close to him, you must learn. Because he's a wise man. We can't start coming to tell you on the why is a wise man. By doing, I tell the enemy his secret. Going to Mazizumike, there are so many of them there. They are filled with wisdom. The way they do things, the way they marshal out things, you know that these people are not just, they don't do cut and paste. The people who have been, they are grounded. There's no who have cooked them. They don't cook them, they don't talk. You know the way our mother has soup. Are you aware that the soup of your grandmother is usually sweeter than the one they cook with meat, cook with everything with smell? When my grandmother cooked with crayfish, that soup was always sweeter than the one our mothers cooked back in the days. Why? It's experience. They have been doing something over time. It has mastered them. It has become part of them. As it continues, God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mas. Thank you very much. In order not to detract too much from our discussion today, Mas, I agree with pretty much everything you say, and but hopefully, Mas, if possible, we can have a program or two to actually, because me personally, I have my reservation very strong about Sunday Igboho's sincerity in his intention. But I agree with everything you have said about not throwing away, not disregard.
Please, Mazi, when we come to programs like this, let me tell you, we can bring Aneni to the table now to discuss. We want to discuss a brave man called Aneni. To every Nigerian, Aneni is associated with crime. Oh, he's a criminal. But I can come tomorrow and tell you that I found bravery in Aneni, and I want to discuss that species, that type of bravery that Aneni exhibited. So I now want to look at Aneni from a very positive angle. If you come to that program, you want to tell me how evil Aneni is, it means you are out of track. You don't know what I'm talking about. Today, these references, I'm not making references to Wole Soyinka as a bad person. That's not where he was brought in. So at any point we're discussing, you guys must not lose track with where is the focus. From which angle are we looking at the horse? The allegory of the cave. Two blind people want to touch horse and report what is the animal they touch and report what they touch. So we are looking at the perspective we bring it. Look at the matter today now. I'm looking at Wole Soyinka in a very positive angle. What he did. Some people didn't get it. So don't come here today and tell me how bad he is, the bad side of him. It's not the bad side of him that brought this topic. I'm looking at, he has made a statement. Whether he made it with good or positive intention, let's look and leverage on the positive impact of that statement. And what is the statement? Nigeria should break if necessary. He said, oh, we have done everything to hold Nigeria, and we can't hold it. Let it break. If that is what will put food on the people's table. Oh, we have done we are playing every game, all the shenanigans, all the intelligentsia, all the game they asked us to play, sit Nigeria positively before the West, so Nigeria can keep pushing, so that Nigeria can continue stealing. You know, all the Western countries, the Scandinavian school of thought that came together to honor Soyinka, because he helped them to bring Scandinavian Cup to West Africa, and they honored him with the Nobel Prize, not because he deserved it, not because he merited it. Most of you don't know history. At the time this prize was given to him was when all the African writers have opted not to be part of that institution again. For what? For bigotry, for their racism, never recognizing any black. Even though Chinua Achebe's book have been interpreted in over 500 languages. Why have you not honored him? Because he's an Igbo man. Britain hate anything Igbo. Britain hate you with hate you like they hate physics. And because there are many of you that don't know who you are. If you are Ijo, Britain know you are Igbo, they hate you. If you are Benin, Britain know that you are Igbo, they hate you. If you are Efik, Britain know you are Igbo, they hate you. You are Shekiri, they hate you. Because anywhere I've mentioned, go and show me anybody from those space that Britain has favored. Don't only pick a few modes. That is why you'll be shocked if you see an Ijo man married to a British man, know that he's a spy. If you see a Ijo man that is married to a British man, the woman is collecting salary for marrying the Ijo man to help to push the narrative to keep Nigeria together. That is why they did all that. You see a British person married to a Yoruba and Igbo, know that the person is a spy. They're on government payroll. Many of you don't know. There are a lot of people that are on payroll. If you're an Ijo man now, you marry a British person, British people will put you on payroll. They give you free house to live in London. All your children in the UK will school for free. I'm saying things I know that people don't know. I've been privileged to come and contact with some of those nonsense where they will throw some offers to you. But because I know where I'm going, I know where they're coming from, I turn them down. I don't want to be part of it. I hate them, and nothing will make me like them till I will die. I will hate them till I will die. They are evil. They don't like us. America don't like you. Hear me clearly. All these countries don't like you. Once you are Igbo, you are, whether you are from South or you are from Southeast, you are from Middle Belt, they cannot like you. You kill their people, they could make war. You kill British people, you are 4-5 kill British. In case you don't know, because many of you don't know who you are. Then they'll come back and to spray the head, hate yourselves. The greatest thing British has succeeded in doing black people, most of pretty much of what they did with the Bible, most of those things they concocted. Do you know that the Bible that they read is different from the one they give you a night to read? So many books that will make you wisdom, make you wise, they remove them. They brought the one that will make you an obedient slave. Masters, servant, obey your masters in all things as unto the Lord. Which Lord? That created all animals equal. There are some scriptures that are coming to tell you that you are slave, obey. Since you are converted, in Biafra, we will burn anything called King James Version. We will gather all of them and burn them. We're going to print our own Bible called MNK Version in Biafra. Even if I'm not alive today, I know I will be alive because Elohim will all of us through. The next generation of Biafra will print your own Bible. King James Version is used to make you a slave. King James Version is used to keep you down when they are stealing our oil and gas. That is the purpose. We're going to write our own Bible that will have respect for our culture. We're going to write a Bible. We're not going to banish Christianity in Biafra. No, we will not do that. For so many good reasons. There are good things about Christianity. There are good things about Pentecostalism. But let me tell you, for in case you don't, even if you're a pastor, I'm a theologian to any class. No theologian anywhere in the world can beat me. I don't talk about those things. I've been to theological to any level you can think of. The Bible you have today is corrupted. They've removed so many things. The Bible said they've altered my ordinances. It's in the Bible. They've altered it. There are many things you see in that Bible now. They are not what was written originally. They are what they put concord together to hold us down. When they started slavery, slaves were revolting. Much of the slaves that come from Africa, from West Africa, from England, they were taken to what do you call it? To this Haiti, all those parts of the Caribbeans. They were always revolting. They will always attack the slave masters. They will gang up and kill their slave master. They were thinking, how do we do it? They now come up with the only way to control these slaves is to control them spiritually and psychologically. That's how they went to write. The Roman Empire went to write the type of Bible suitable for slaves. All the Bible you read in Africa are the ones that are slave compliant. That is why the Bible they read in Vatican is different from what you read here. But you with slave mentality will not know. The Holy Spirit say pretty much of what we call the Holy Spirit is even their own idolatry. Because what you everything, all the idolatry, all the what do you call it, the Roman paganism, all of them they package all of them load to put inside the church that brought your Bible. All the church you have around here are offshoot of the old Roman Empire, Catholicism. Everything they've done there is to keep you down. Do you know that the picture of Jesus they display, even in the Vatican, the picture of Christ hang there is different from that movie star that they put everywhere in Biafra land. Go to every church now in Biafra land, they put the picture of one European boy, one movie star. Why can't you put venerate our own ancestors? In every altar in Biafra land, we're going to put MNK picture. If you don't want it, carry your religion and go to your country and practice it. We are going to use our own Bible. We're going to write our own Bible, our own version. We will not be using other people's version because their version venerate their own ancestors, venerate their own culture, respect their culture, do everything in their favor. That's why we're slaves. The reason why you obey everything they tell you is because the Bible tells you to obey. We don't question the Bible. Nobody can question God, but they question their own God. You are not allowed to question God. Me, I do question. God Bible tells me, command ye me. Bible said I should command it. That's what God says. But those of you black, illiterate Africans, you don't command. Your own God is unquestionable. Unquestionable, you are the Lord. They sang all the songs, all songs to put you in bondage. Every song you sing in Africa, I've decided to follow Jesus. There are songs in Igbo that say, take the whole world, but give me Jesus. Jesus, see what he's telling you? I'm not gonna drive out the car. I've taken Jesus. They are busy carrying our warrior. building planes, living good life. You hold Jesus. You are sweating, hunger, poverty won't kill you. Everybody's suffering is going to hell. Because there's own Bible that I read shows that the street of heaven is made of gold. You with all you are drinking Gary in Africa, they will not accept you. And let me tell you for free, all of you that believe that angels are white, you can't enter heaven because black people will not be allowed there. White people are the worst racists anywhere in the world. Since you are in the Michael is white, you are in the rural is white, you are in the Gizzis, all your angels are white. Apparently the Christian God you are venerating must be white, and they will not allow you there because they don't like black people. Do you see the pictures where the bishop they kiss people? You go to Father Fancy, you shake him, you can't kiss him because he's black. You are irritating. How many of our many have you wasted? Do you know how many generations of Biafran that you wasted in the name of Catholicism? Yet they have refused to make any of them saints. They know that if they make canonize and make Fancy saint today, all the church in Africa will start bearing Father Saint Fancy. They don't want that. So with all their Bible, with all they preach, they hate you with perfect hatred. The only thing they like about black people is to come here and steal our gold, steal our oil. That's the only thing they like about you. Even if they say the same church. They're still racism. So our people need to change the way we reason and think. All this nonsense will not be allowed in Biafra. Every Bible is written according to every culture. There are Bibles they use in America, the New American Revised Standard. Why American? Why they know they use King James? Have you asked yourself? The Coptic Christians in Russia, why don't they use King James? They don't. Other parts of Europe, they don't use their King James. They use the one that your slave masters gave you. Every church was an institution they used to drive slavery. What made slavery strive was because of religion. In the Arab world, they used Islam to drive slavery, to come to Africa, kill, impose whatever nonsense they believe in on you. In Europe, they used Christianity to come to Africa, impose whatever nonsense they believe on you, and steal away your own culture, and you bastardize, and you kill your own spirituality. Let me tell you for free, in case you don't know, I've studied the cosmology of every nation in Biafra. We have one cosmology. We have one spiritual identity. Our spirituality is same. We knew God. The 4 market days you have in Igbo is the 4 cardiac signs. The 4 signs, what you have on Ko, Eke, Ori, Afo, has to do with water. One has to do with wind. Afo is Allah, earth. And these are the 4 forces that rule the earth. And these 4 forces are associated with creation, nature, and creation. And they're synonymous with God. In Chinese philosophy, we talk about the ultimate reality, the ultimate being, from whom every other being takes existence. Every human being is a unit of God. It doesn't matter how you conceive your God, whether it is Chi, Chiuku, Chineke, or Eledumero, Ogene, or Sanobua, anything you call it, Abasi. We are a unit of that ultimate. But they have come here now, change the names, put capital letter for their own, put small letter to your own, and you are writing it. You are comfortable with it. Your ancestors that are evil, they didn't kill you. They didn't sacrifice you. If your forefathers were that evil, they would have mortgaged all of you. Yes, if your grandmother was witch, as they're telling you now, why did she not eat you when you were in the womb? When your mother was carried, why did your grandmother that is a witch eat you? Say now witch that sucks blood. Today you are binding the root that brought you to life, and you want nature to be fair to you. Let me tell you for free what you will become. Your greatness is attached to where you come from, not where you were born. You can be born in New York. Where are you from? Where your father come from is where you come from. That is the gate into your life. Spiritually, if you bastardize it, if you insult it, it will be well with you. They will say, oh, why come they conquered our ancestors when the white man came? How will their ancestors protect you when you don't obey them? You don't follow the rules. There's a deity in my village where I come from. You bring juju to kill somebody, to kill till tomorrow. Nobody needs to go and tell him somebody has brought evil. What's happening evil? You're gone. Your family must come and tell him thank you, or else you go back to and go and start attacking them. For you to call it demon, you call it Arosi. You don't know the meaning of Arosi. Arosi means Aroki. It's even a positive thing. Is it that evil stop? That's the meaning of Arosi. It's a rebuke to evil. Evil stop. In our ancient African society, they abhorred evil. They hated evil. They don't promote evil. They don't support evil. Our ancestors don't tell lie. There are ages you get to. In Igbo land, where we come from, once a man don't they grow gray hair, he can't lie again. Give him $1 billion, he will tell you no. At my age, I can't lie. Take your money away. That is why it was really difficult to pervert justice back in the days. Because everyone that surround the Eze, all the Indian source that will come and decide are men of reputable, men of integrity, men of impeccable moral principle or standard. We must understand these things because they have come teach us the useless curriculum. See, in our church, we are learning Christian religious knowledge. You don't know where you come from. Your son don't know basic things. Do you know that a lot of us now we have grown on over 50, 60, 70? Our children don't know what is called Ndegede. Ndiche, Ndiozo. What they represent, you don't know. But you know the history of the Jewish culture. You can tell all the history of Arabic people. Those things you are calling Islamic culture, not Islamic culture. It is their traditional culture that they're teaching you. Their ways of life that has no bearing to your own life. You learn everything in Catholicism. You can tell all the story of all the deities that are in Roman Empire. You know them, you worship them in the name of Catholicism. But you don't even know where you come from. What the name of your village means. Your own name, what does it mean? The name you bear has a meaning. Let me tell you for free, every identity has something to do with your life. In ancient Africa, they don't just give names. Names are given in relation to circumstances surrounding your birth. The person is born inside a womb. A womb is farm. Forever they will know, oh, this child was born in the farm. They give all the names that our forefathers give has spiritual significance. They don't give names that has no bearing. They don't give names that does not have no corollary with our culture or with our spirituality or who we are. So our people must wake up. Next generation, if people should prepare. Those people that want to build Biafra, don't build a nation that will be a replica of this nonsense called Zoo. Don't. Nobody should impose a Bible on you. Write your own Bible. Give it your own name. Any church that is not comfortable with it should pack. Religion should not be free. There's nothing called freedom of religion. Don't let anybody fool you. That's what they used to destroy our culture. Religion must be controlled because that is our mumu button. The greatest mumu button of a black man is religion. Bring Bible or Quran, he will collapse everything. No matter how strong a man is, once you quote Bible, he will surrender. The pastor has spoken. Holy Spirit say, you don't form Mogo immediately. Even though the person telling Holy Spirit say, slept with your wife yesterday, you won't know that again. He lied to you. Hey, the Lord spoke to me now. Go and submit that car. And the Lord didn't speak to him. And you're obeying. Because you don't reason, you don't ask questions. Because you have killed your own spirituality. If you are spiritually alive, when somebody is lying, you will know. There's something called spirit of discernment. What we call speaking in tongues in Christendom, in Pentecostalism, is what our forefathers do. When they start that time they will start talking politics, chanting. It's the same thing they do in Christianity. Every tongue, you start saying something you don't know. As you are beginning speaking this way, you are Christian. That's the same thing our ancestors speak in a different way, and it produces the same result. Our forefathers had sat using cosmic communication many years before telephone was invented by the Europeans in Africa. They could communicate. My great-grandfather can speak to somebody millions of miles away many years ago. They can summon somebody in a port. There was a story, a true life story. A man had some children from a woman he didn't marry. The woman ran away with the children. Many years later, 40 years later, he told his wife, no, I have 3 daughters. She said, what I say? He said, I have 3 daughters. I used to have one woman I was living with. She had 3 daughters for me. She ran away with them. They couldn't trace those children. Lo and behold, they went to meet a traditionalist. He just started chanting, start saying things, brought out cloth, start saying things, and the cloth started showing the man 3 daughters where they're living. One was living in Ife, married, the children married, bearing Muslim names. Mushiba was the name of one of the sons of his grandson. Because our forefathers had magnetic brains. See that kind of brain, computer brain, we must not kind of get. That's what the kind of brain they had in those days. To mention something, they know they forget. So this man was one that watched all the video. All the name mentioned there, he magnetized them. He didn't write any single one in any paper. He came out of there, shivering, tell everybody, I've seen where my daughter is. I'm going to look for her. He has never traveled out of Igbo land all his life. The man traveled. How he worked out, whether not physical or spiritual, he landed in Ife, where the first daughter was. And the first daughter saw her. That's how he united with the family. This is real. So when we will not come and destroy our spirituality, everything we do here is evil. Our parents are evil. Our forefathers are evil. Their ways are evil. We're showing how idiotic we are. That is why even the white man don't respect us. They know we have no brain. Any man that condemns whom he is a fool, is a coward. We cannot amount to anything. And I tell you for free, you can't fulfill your purpose until you realize who you are. Many of us don't know who we are. We don't even know why we are here. We think we are here to make money. Everybody is not created for money. Everybody must not be a millionaire. Find out your purpose. A wasted life is when you don't know your purpose. Because it's often said that a product that they don't know the uses, the purpose, what's it called? Waste is inevitable. It won't be used well. That thing will be wasted. You must know the purpose of a product. And make the right application of knowledge. It's what they call wisdom. So, what am I saying this? There are certain things we need to change the way we think. We need to advise ourselves because of our children. I think I'm going to stop here. Mazi Oforishe, you didn't conclude what you were saying. You didn't talk about this Wolesho Yenka letter, and you didn't talk about the import of food, weaponizing food against our people. I didn't want to bring that topic too broad. I didn't want to go too deep because our leader is coming out. It's coming on air tomorrow. Mazi Chikedozium is coming on air, and I believe he's going to talk about the agricultural revolution because he has already outlined a lot on that in that direction. So, Mazi Oforishe, in a recap, with 3 minutes, can you conclude on those 3 things you talk about? Can do that with 4 minutes, please, so that we can round up.
Okay, thank you very much, Mazi. Bekobiro Ogana Wibokawe, the Ogana Sonobruwe, continue to grant you more wisdom, and then also the great leaders that we have, the DOS, Mazi Shika Odozie. God will continue to enrich you with great wisdom, just as He has enriched Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And we too, we are also believing God that we are really going to be enriched with this wisdom that has been endowed on all of you. He said. So the area that I did not talk about, I think I'm more interested in the first question, which has to do with the postulation or the submission of Wole Soyinka, which says that Wole Soyinka on the 28th of February, on the 29th of February 2004, that the zoo should break if necessary. What does it mean to me as a
respect to him is an old man. Where we come from, we are trained to respect old people. He has gray hair and he's a professor. Please don't just call his name alone. Call him with some sense of respect. God bless you.
Professor Wole Soyinka. Yeah, we still respect him. And sometimes respect have a boundary. Where I come from as a Biafra and as an Urobo man, we respect elder. At the moment an elder crosses his boundary, he immediately is respect. My place usually shows that an elder put his head down to play with the children, we always have sand on his head. So when the children start pouring sand on the head of the elders, our people don't usually blame the children because the elder who deliberately went to put his head on the ground for the children to pour sand on. Just like one of our comrades who just spoke that is one that what's her name again? That told us how she so much have great respect for this elder statesman. Along the line, begin to see a lot of deviation in his character and his personality. So we need to keep track. That is the reason why we are still following Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the great leader, whom I would like to call the Honorable of Urobo land. He has been consistent. That is one of the things that I will always find why if people are eulogizing. Why are we eulogizing is that he has been consistent in all that he has been doing. And that is what makes him different from the likes of Sunday Igboho, the likes of Ataka Koro, the likes of the other freedom fighters. He has been consistent. So, and we expect that Professor Wole Soyinka should be consistent. And we are casting some doubt on his statement because the part of the world that he comes from have produced leaders whom we have seen that have one time or the other betrayed the essence of leadership, betrayed the essence of freedom. Like one of the program we held some few days ago, I expressed my pain, my disappointment in the person of Jagaba and Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who some time past was advocating for restructuring system of the Nigeria state, who was agitating against oppression, who was agitating against corruption. And suddenly the opportunity to exhibit this ideology, when it came, its ideology suddenly disappeared into thin air. And that is what that will make anybody who has followed him before will begin to think twice in following him. Now we now see that somehow these are the kind of behavior that has emanated from people from this side of the zoo, especially the Yoruba leaders like Awolowo. I did mention the person of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, who had opportunity to interface with his blessed memory, Oduku, when the freedom of the round. Okay, so we are not supposed to take his words serious because the motive of making such statements.
Hello, Mazi, you guys are getting it wrong. You are judging him by his character. I say forget about his character, forget about his antecedents, forget about his personality. My question is, what does the statement mean to you? What can you make out of it? It's not what does this personality behind his statement. What is the content of his character? That's not the question. The question is that somebody say Nigeria should break if necessary. What do you make out of it? I expected all of you to come and make good use of that statement. But that was not the case with so many of you. You didn't make good use of this statement. He has told you Nigeria should break if necessary. If that will put food on the table of the hungry, let Nigeria break. And that's where we stand. Because it's a necessity that Nigeria must break. The necessity is that the zoo that Britain concocted together can no longer hold. What brought us together is no more there. There's no unity, there's no understanding, there's no love. We are never one, we can never be one. Everybody is running his own race. The North does not want anything to come to the East. Everybody, even you that they call South, they don't want it to come to you. Do you have railway? No. There are 2 railway lanes in the whole Lagos, in Yoruba land, in the whole North. No single one in the so-called South. Yesterday I heard they have approved 700 kilometers long Lagos to Calabar story. Fine, let's see where they will start it. Will they start it in Calabar or they will start it in Lagos so they can get to Ishekiri where the wife comes from? Tinubu's wife is Ishekiri, but it doesn't stop us. It will not make us deny Ishekiri that Biafrans. So Mazi, you've spoken enough. God bless you. Thank you for participation. Everyone that made it to this program today, I appreciate all of you. Idara Oku, Elohim will uphold you. Mazi Uye. The Lord will hold you. Mazi Ochiko, you've been wonderful. Everybody that spoke, even if I didn't remember your name, please appreciate all of you. I love you all. In summation, we must keep marching. Biafra is here in our face. If you have not started seeing Biafra, then you are not spiritual. Your dream life is under attack. If as I speak now, you don't see yourself backing home. If I speak now, God has not shown to you what is going to happen. We are not spiritual. We are one of those who think we have in the struggle. And this struggle is for spiritual people, for those who can receive message from Elohim. Any of you that can receive message from Elohim and tell us our life, you are not an agitator. Now let me tell you for free, it's not an insult. Agitation is for spiritually minded people. Agitation, freedom is for people who are free spiritually. Freedom is for people who have a mind of their own. Freedom fighting is for people who has conquered fear. Freedom fighting is for people who are not thinking about themselves. Freedom fighting is for people who think about the next generation. Freedom fighting is for go-getters. Not crowd followers. It's not for sacrifice. It's not for people looking for where is change. Where can we see money? There's something there. Let's take it. That is not freedom fighting. Is not for you. So those of you get spiritual, know why we're here. Our assignment is spiritual. If we are part of the frontliners in freedom fighting, Elohim has not spoken to you about Biafra. Oga, they just hired you. You are not called. Freedom fighting is for those who are called. I am called to assist Mazenam Nekano to get Biafra. And that is my assignment on earth. Nothing else is important. So I'm going to stop here. I appreciate all of you. Thank you, Mazi Aloziem, for being there. Thank you, Mazi Chikedozian. Thank you, Mazi Zurumike. Thank you, Mazi Namdekana. Thank you, all our leaders. You guys are too numerous to be mentioned. May God bless, keep, preserve all of you. What I know is for sure, there will be a remnant. Some people will see Biafra. Those of you, you will see Biafra. Those of you, you will build Biafra. Make sure you build Biafra of our dreams. That is what we're speaking, all our agenda, all our plans every day. In case anything can happen, but we're not afraid. I know we will see Biafra. God bless all of you. Maza Dozie, Ndewo sir. Good evening from here.
Ndewo, thank you very much for the program. I thank all of you for the topic well presented. See you all next week. Thank you very much. Ndewo. Bye-bye. May I apologize to our listeners. At the beginning, the program was hanging and it wasn't coming out, including my presentation. It didn't come out. But today is March the 8th, 2024. Chike Dozian will be on the air tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Biafra time. Don't miss the program. You had a hint about what the topic will be about and some more. And also donate to ESN, www.ipob.org. www.ipob.org. Donation. PayPal, debit card, credit card, acceptable. Release Mazen Nandekano. He has no more case to answer. Anything about trial and bail is illegal. It's illegal. I don't know who is concocted that type of trial. If the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal says discharge, no standing of any trial, who are these people coming up with trial and bail? It's not happening. We are not accepting it. The IPOB said no. DOS said no. We are not interested. The case is closed. Now let's look forward to extraordinary rendition at the International Court, if that's the case. If there will be any trial, let's go to International Court and let them explain themselves. I think that's where we'll be expecting, instead of coming back to the federal court and talking about bail and bond. Let's take it up to where international law was violated. Tomorrow the women will be on the air, and then I think will be on time. So I thank all of you that participated and those that listened. We are happy that you participated, and that's how we'll be doing it every week. Be with Radio Biafra. Be with us. LGA autonomous. Autonomous is divide and rule. Autonomous is divide and rule. That's what it is. Your villages are being shared apart. And you're telling me you're divide and you're autonomous. And you're telling me you're divided. You're autonomous.